Life can feel like an uphill battle. We push and strive, we chase success, we grasp for control, yet peace and happiness seem elusive. Do you ever feel this way? This constant struggle is familiar to many. We think we need to force things to go our way. But what if there's a better way? Our culture often celebrates busyness. We wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor. But this constant striving creates stress and anxiety. It disconnects us from ourselves and the world around us. There's a different way to live, a way that embraces ease and flow. Life doesn't have to be a constant battle. What if we could find a sense of peace amidst the chaos? Imagine moving through life with grace and effortlessness. This is the promise of Wu Wei. Deep within ancient Chinese philosophy lies the Tao. The Tao speaks of a universal energy. It flows through all things. It guides us towards harmony and balance. Wu Wei is a principle of the Tao. It teaches us the art of effortless living. Imagine a leaf floating downstream. It doesn't fight the current. Instead, it surrenders. It trusts the water to carry it. This is the essence of Wu Wei. It's about aligning ourselves with the natural flow of life. It's about releasing the need to control everything. Wu Wei is not about passivity. It's not about giving up on our goals. It's about finding a state of effortless action. It's about aligning our actions with the natural order of things. When we do this, life becomes easier. We find a sense of peace and flow. Wu Wei is a journey, not a destination. It's about letting go of our rigid plans. It's about embracing the unknown. It's about trusting that the universe has our back. In the following sections, we'll explore Wu Wei in more detail. We'll discover how to apply its principles to our daily lives. We'll learn how to let go of control. We'll discover the power of acceptance. We'll find out how to move through life with more ease and grace. Are you ready to discover the art of effortless living? Let's begin. From a young age, I was taught the value of hard work. Effort equaled reward. Control ensured success. This belief system became deeply ingrained in me. I approached life with a relentless pursuit of achievement. I strived for perfection in everything I did. School was my first battleground. I chased top grades, excelled in extracurriculars, and aimed to please my teachers. Success in academics fueled my ambition. I believed it was the key to a fulfilling future. This drive served me well, at least on the surface. I achieved the accolades and recognition I craved, but at what cost? The pressure to maintain this facade of success was immense. I felt a constant need to prove myself. I feared failure, and the judgment that might come with it. The fear became a constant companion. It pushed me to work harder, to strive for even greater heights. Section 2. A world of my own making. My career followed a similar trajectory. I climbed the corporate ladder with unwavering determination. Long hours and sleepless nights were badges of honor. I thrived on the challenge, the constant need to prove myself in the fast-paced world I had chosen. I meticulously planned every aspect of my life. I created detailed to-do lists, color-coded my calendar, and micromanaged every project. I believed that control was the only way to ensure success. Any deviation from the plan filled me with anxiety. My personal life suffered under the weight of my self-imposed expectations. Relationships felt like projects to be managed. Relaxation seemed like a waste of precious time. My mind raced constantly, always planning, always analyzing, always seeking control. Section 3. Cracks in the facade. Looking back, the signs of burnout were evident. I was constantly tired, yet sleep evaded me. My body ached with tension. My mind felt like a pressure cooker ready to explode, yet I ignored the warning signs. I told myself it was normal, even admirable, to feel this way. My once sharp focus began to waver. Simple tasks felt overwhelming. I became increasingly irritable and withdrawn. The joy I once found in my work dwindled, replaced by a sense of obligation and resentment. Friends and family expressed concern, but their words fell on deaf ears. I couldn't see outside the bubble I had created. I was trapped in a cycle of striving and exhaustion, unable to escape the prison of my own making. Section 4. the night I broke. The breaking point came unexpectedly. A major project at work fell apart. Despite my meticulous planning and tireless efforts, everything unraveled. I felt a wave of despair wash over me. My carefully constructed world crumbled around me. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind raced, replaying every mistake, every perceived failure. I felt lost and alone, drowning in a sea of self-doubt and despair. I knew I couldn't continue down this path. Something had to change. In a moment of desperation, I reached for a book that had been gathering dust on my shelf. It was a collection of essays on Taoism, a philosophy I had always found intriguing but never had the time to explore. As I started to read, a strange sense of calm washed over me. The words on the page spoke of a different way of being, a way of living in harmony with the natural flow of life, a way of finding peace and contentment, not through striving and control, but through acceptance and surrender. One concept in particular resonated deeply within me, Wu Wei, the art of effortless living. The idea that by aligning myself with the natural order of things, I could find a sense of ease and flow that had eluded me for so long. That night, I made a decision. I would embark on a journey to understand and embrace Wu Wei. I didn't know where this path would lead, but I was ready to release the need for control and embrace a new way of being, a way of living in harmony with myself and the world around me. As I delved deeper into the teachings of Taoism, a particular passage struck a chord within my soul. It spoke of nature's effortless grace, of how the trees swayed in the wind without resistance, how the rivers flowed effortlessly towards the sea. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished, the words whispered from the page. This simple yet profound statement stopped me in my tracks. It was as if a seed of wisdom had been planted in the fertile ground of my longing for a different way of being. Could it be that my relentless pursuit of control, my obsession with forcing outcomes, was actually the very thing that was hindering my progress and stealing my peace? For so long I had believed that success was a battle to be won, a destination to be reached through sheer force of will. But what if, as the Tao suggested, true fulfillment lay in aligning myself with the natural flow of life, in surrendering to the current rather than constantly fighting against it? The more I contemplated this idea of effortless action, the more I began to see the futility of my previous approach to life. It was like trying to swim upstream against a powerful current, exhausting myself in the process while making little headway. What if, instead of resisting, I could learn to trust the flow, to let go of my rigid need for control, and allow life to unfold naturally? It was a daunting prospect, this notion of surrendering to the unknown. My entire life had been built upon the foundation of planning, striving, and controlling. Yet the more I clung to this illusion of control, the more I felt like a puppet master desperately trying to manipulate a play that was already in motion. I realized that my fear of letting go stemmed from a deep-seated belief that I was somehow separate from the flow of life, that I needed to impose my will upon the world in order to create the outcomes I desired. But what if, as the Tao suggested, I was already an integral part of something much larger than myself? A participant in a grand cosmic dance that was unfolding perfectly according to its own rhythm and timing. I decided to try an experiment. Instead of approaching my day with my usual regimented schedule and to-do list, I would simply allow myself to be guided by the flow of events, to respond to each moment as it arose without forcing or resisting. It felt strange at first, like stepping off a well-trodden path into uncharted territory. As I walked through the park that afternoon, I noticed the way the leaves rustled in the breeze, the sunlight dappling through the branches, the gentle murmur of the stream nearby. For the first time in a long time, I felt a sense of peace wash over me, a feeling of being fully present in the moment without the usual mental chatter and anxiety. It was as if, by surrendering my need to control, I had opened myself up to a whole new way of experiencing the world. The river of life was still flowing, but instead of fighting against it, I was learning to trust its current, to allow myself to be carried along by its gentle embrace. One of the most profound lessons I learned on my journey with Wu Wei was the importance of letting go. For so long, I had clung tightly to my desires, my plans, my perceived need for control. But the more I grasped, the more elusive true peace and fulfillment became. It was like trying to hold onto a handful of sand. The tighter I squeezed, the more it slipped through my fingers. Wu Wei taught me that true freedom lies in releasing my attachment to outcomes, in accepting that I cannot control everything, and in finding peace in the present moment, regardless of external circumstances. It was a radical shift in perspective, one that required me to confront my deepest fears and insecurities. Letting go didn't mean giving up on my dreams or becoming passive in the face of life's challenges. It meant approaching my goals with a sense of gentle determination, taking inspired action when it felt aligned, and trusting that the universe would conspire to support me in ways I couldn't even imagine. As I deepened my understanding of Wu Wei, I began to see that life wasn't about forcing my will upon the world, but rather about aligning myself with the Tao, the underlying current of energy that flows through all things. It was about trusting that there was an inherent intelligence guiding me even when I couldn't see the bigger picture. This concept of trusting the Tao was initially challenging for my analytical mind. I was used to planning every detail, to relying on logic and reason to navigate the complexities of life. But Wu Wei invited me to tap into a deeper wisdom, an intuitive knowing that resided within me, waiting to be acknowledged. It was about learning to listen to the subtle whispers of my heart, to pay attention to the synchronicities and signs that appeared along my path, and to trust that I was always being guided towards my highest good, even when the journey took unexpected turns. One of the most common misconceptions about Wu Wei is that it's about doing nothing, about becoming passive and withdrawn from the world. However, true Wu Wei is not about inaction, but rather about effortless action, about aligning our actions with the natural flow of life. It's like the difference between rowing a boat upstream against a strong current and allowing the current to carry you effortlessly towards your destination. When we align ourselves with the Tao, our actions become infused with a sense of ease and grace. We no longer need to force or struggle. Instead, we move through life with a sense of effortless flow. This doesn't mean we won't encounter challenges or obstacles along the way, but it does mean that we can approach these challenges with a sense of calm and clarity, trusting that we have the inner resources to navigate them with grace and resilience. In the midst of our fast-paced, achievement-oriented society, it's easy to get caught up in the endless cycle of doing, striving, and achieving. We rush from one task to the next, our minds filled with worries about the future and regrets about the past, rarely taking the time to simply be present in the moment. Wu Wei teaches us the importance of cultivating stillness amidst the current of life, of finding moments of peace and quietude, where we can reconnect with our inner selves and tap into the wisdom that resides within. It's about learning to appreciate the simple things in life, to find joy in the ordinary moments, and to cultivate a sense of gratitude for all that we have. This practice of cultivating present moment awareness doesn't require hours of meditation or elaborate rituals. It can be as simple as taking a few deep breaths before starting our day, savoring the taste of our food, or taking a few moments to appreciate the beauty of nature. One of the greatest teachers of Wu Wei is nature itself. If we take the time to observe the natural world around us, we can learn a great deal about the art of effortless living. We can witness how the trees sway gracefully in the wind, how the rivers flow effortlessly towards the sea, and how the seasons change in perfect harmony with the cycles of nature. In the effortless dance of nature, we can find a reflection of our own potential for effortless living. We can learn to trust the natural rhythms and cycles of life, to let go of our need to control every outcome, and to embrace the present moment with a sense of wonder and awe. By immersing ourselves in nature, we can begin to align ourselves with the Tao, to tap into the source of all creation, and to rediscover our own innate wisdom and effortless flow. Section 6. Cultivating Harmony, Integrating Wu Wei into Daily Life. The principles of Wu Wei are not meant to be confined to the realm of philosophy or spiritual practice. They are meant to be integrated into our daily lives, transforming the way we approach our work, our relationships, and our overall well-being. We can begin by identifying areas in our lives where we tend to overexert ourselves, where we try to force outcomes or control situations that are beyond our control. By bringing awareness to these patterns, we can begin to let go of our need for control and allow things to unfold more naturally. We can also incorporate practices into our daily routines that help us cultivate a sense of presence, such as meditation, mindfulness, or spending time in nature. By nurturing our connection to our inner selves and the world around us, we can begin to live more in alignment with the Tao. Section 7, The Journey Unfolds, Embracing the Unknown with Open Arms. The journey of Wu Wei is not about achieving a state of perfect, effortless living, but rather about embracing the process of letting go, trusting the flow of life, and discovering the effortless grace that resides within each of us. It's about approaching each day with a sense of curiosity and openness, allowing ourselves to be surprised by the synchronicities and opportunities that present themselves, and trusting that we are always exactly where we need to be. As we continue to cultivate Wu Wei in our lives, we may find that we experience greater peace of mind, increased creativity and productivity, more fulfilling relationships, and a deeper connection to ourselves, others, and the world around us. Section 1, A New Horizon. If you've resonated with the principles of Wu Wei so far, you might be feeling a sense of hope, a glimmer of possibility. The idea of effortless living, of aligning with the Tao, can feel like a breath of fresh air in a world that often feels chaotic and demanding. It's easy to get caught up in the how-to of it all, to seek a step-by-step guide to achieving this elusive state of effortless action. But the beauty of Wu Wei lies in its simplicity. It's not about adding more to your already full plate. It's about shifting your perspective. It's about softening your grip on the need for control. Imagine for a moment a life where you no longer feel like you're constantly swimming upstream, a life where you trust the current to guide you, where you move through your days with a sense of ease and grace. This is the promise of Wu Wei. You don't need to be a master meditator or a Taoist scholar to embrace Wu Wei. You can begin to integrate this ancient wisdom into your life right here, right now. Start small, begin with a single breath. Notice the rise and fall of your chest. Feel the air entering and leaving your body. This is presence. This is Wu Wei in action. Throughout your day, look for opportunities to let go of the need to control. Perhaps it's surrendering to a traffic jam instead of letting frustration consume you. Maybe it's accepting a change of plans with grace instead of clinging to your original idea. Each moment is an invitation to practice Wu Wei. Remember, this is a practice, not a destination. There will be times when you fall back into old habits of striving and forcing. Be kind to yourself. Each time you recognize this pattern, you have an opportunity to choose again. Choose Wu Wei. Choose effortless living. One of the most challenging yet liberating aspects of Wu Wei is learning to trust the unfolding of your life. It's about releasing the need to have all the answers, to control every outcome. It's about surrendering to the wisdom of the Tao, even when you don't understand where you're being led. Trust that the universe has a plan for you, even if you can't see the whole picture. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be in this very moment. Trust that even challenges and setbacks are opportunities for growth and learning. As you begin to cultivate this sense of trust, you'll notice a shift within you. A sense of peace will begin to permeate your being. You'll find yourself worrying less and trusting more. You'll begin to move through life with a sense of ease and flow that you may have never thought possible. The journey of Wu Wei is a lifelong exploration. It's a continual process of letting go, trusting, and aligning with the natural flow of life. It's a journey that's best shared. Talk to others about what you're learning. Share your experiences. There are countless resources available to support you on your path. Explore books, articles, and teachings on Taoism and Wu Wei. Connect with others who are also drawn to this way of living. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. The wisdom of Wu Wei has been passed down through generations, offering guidance and support to those who are open to receiving it. Embrace the principles of effortless living and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. As we conclude our exploration of Wu Wei, it's important to remember that this ancient wisdom is not merely a concept to be grasped intellectually, but a way of being to be embodied. It's a continual process of letting go of our need for control, trusting the natural flow of life and aligning ourselves with the effortless grace of the Tao. The promise of Wu Wei is not the absence of challenges or difficulties. Life will always have its ups and downs. Rather, it's the ability to navigate these challenges with a sense of peace, clarity, and effortless action. It's about finding a sense of flow in our daily lives, where our actions align with our purpose, and we move through the world with grace and ease. This doesn't mean we won't have goals or aspirations, it simply means we approach them with a different energy. We set our intentions, take inspired action when it feels aligned, and then surrender the outcome to the wisdom of the Tao, trusting that the universe will conspire to support us in ways we might not even be able to imagine. Imagine waking up each morning with a sense of peace and purpose, knowing that you don't have to force or struggle to make things happen. You trust that by aligning yourself with the natural flow of life, you'll be guided to where you need to be, doing what you're meant to do, with a sense of effortlessness and joy. Your work becomes a form of creative expression, your relationships flow with ease and harmony, and you find a deep sense of fulfillment in the simple act of being alive. Challenges are no longer seen as obstacles, but rather as opportunities for growth and learning, guiding you towards your highest potential. This vision of a life lived in flow, in harmony with the Tao, is not a distant utopia, but a tangible possibility for each of us. It begins with a single step, a conscious choice to let go of the need for control, to trust the unfolding of our lives, and to embrace the effortless grace that resides within. As we conclude this exploration of Wu Wei, it's important to remember that this is not the end but rather the beginning of your own personal journey. The principles we've discussed are not meant to be rigid rules but rather guiding lights, illuminating a path towards a more fulfilling and effortless way of being. Embrace the practices that resonate with you. Experiment with different ways of incorporating Wu Wei into your daily life, and most importantly, be patient and compassionate with yourself along the way. There will be times when you fall back into old patterns of striving and control, but each time you recognize this, you have an opportunity to choose again. Choose Wu Wei. Choose effortless living. Choose to align yourself with the natural flow of life and watch as your world transforms in ways you never thought possible. Your journey awaits. If you enjoyed this journey, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your engagement helps us bring more content like this to you. Thank you for watching.